everyone, we are from Group 2, consisting of me, Fajar Nur Rahmanni, and Nurul Istikhomah. And on this opportunity, we would like to present one of the language teaching method, which is total physical response. Not wasting any more time, let's get started. Total physical response, or TPR, is language teaching method built around the coordination of speech and action. It attempts to teach language through physical or motor activity. This method was developed by James Asher, a professor of psychology at San Jose State University, California. And the next, I will tell you about the characteristic of this method. Number 1. Build learning based on speech and action. As the name, total physical response, this method trying to teach language through physical activity. This is the main goal. And according to Asher, motor activity is a right brain function that must be preceded left brain language processing. And the second, meaning is more important than form. By focusing on the meaning interpreted through movement, not on the form of language that is studied abstractly, students can be said to be free from situations that are not confident in their grammar skills. With this, they will be confident in expressing what they are going to say without fear and worry about grammar. The third, reduction of stress. According to Asher, he believes that language classes are often the center of anxiety, so he wanted to devise methods that were as stress-free as possible, in which students would feel less self-conscious and defensive. Learning through movement makes students relax and not tense while participating in learning. And the fourth, teachers and students as the center. In TPR, students listen and act aloud while the teacher controls. Students are not forced to speak. Instead, the teachers provide several examples through structured movements and actions so that students indirectly get the grammar structure and vocabulary of the target language. During the listening practice period, students are asked to respond to the teacher's instruction. Then students change roles with the teacher to produce language by giving order to classmates and even the teachers. Fifth, grammar is taught inductively. Grammar and vocabulary features are selected not according to the frequency of need or use in the target language situations, but according to the situation in which they can be used in the classroom and the ease with which they can be learned. And the next, I will tell you about the objectives of this method. The general purpose of the total physical response method is to teach oral proficiency at an early level. Afterward, the main purpose in this method is to teach basic speaking skills. Basically, the total physical response course aims to produce learners who are able to understand communication without obstacles by native speakers. Another goal in implementing this learning method is that students are maximized not to stress in learning. And then I will tell you about learning activities in this method. In the total physical response method, the main class activity is an imperative practice. Strategies or activities in this learning method include role-playing and slide presentation. Role-playing focuses on situations in everyday life, such as in a restaurant, supermarket, or gas station. The slide presentation is used as a visual centerpiece for the teacher's narrative, followed by comments and for asking students questions. In addition, reading and writing activities can also be used to further improve students' comprehension of vocabulary and structure, and as a follow-up to oral imperative drills. And then the type of this activity in this method approach begins with the teacher preparing various materials to be taught to students. Afterward, the teacher explains a new vocabulary and applies it using gestures, facial expressions, props, or body movements to illustrate the meaning of the word while the students try to understand the meaning. And during the listening and speaking practice period, students are asked to respond to the teacher's instructions. Then students change roles with the teacher to produce language by giving orders to classmates and even the teacher. In this method, students will will not be forced to speak if they are not ready. And the next part will be explained by Nurul.
Teaching materials. A. Textbooks are not used in TPR. B. Teacher use common class objects such as book, pens, cup, and furniture. And C. As the learning process progresses, teachers also need to make supporting materials to support teaching points such as including picture, realia, slides, and word charts. Next, teachers and learning rules. Learning rules, listeners and performers listen attentively and respond specifically to commands given by the teacher. Learners monitor and evaluate their own progress. Little rules, activities and direct rules decides what to teach, models and present new materials, and who select sports material for classroom use. The teacher encouraged to be well prepared and well organized so that the lesson flow smoothly and predictably. The teacher has the responsibility of providing the best kind of exposure to language so that the learners can internalize the basic rules of the target language, giving feedback to learners. Next, procedure. A. Review. Review about this was a fast-moving work-up in which individual students were moved with command. Practice using the command or imperative drill is the main activities that the teacher does in the classroom using the TPR method. Exercise is useful for observing physical movement and activities for students. B. New command. Practice a simple dialect or conversation with this the verb tense, past, present, future, and continuous aspects are introduced. The instructor asks simple question with the student, called answer with a gesture such as pointing. C. Rule reversal. In other words, is role playing. Students readily volunteer to utter commands that manipulate the behavior of the instructor and other students. This can be focused on daily activities such as in school, restaurants, markets, the lots, reading and writing. In reading and writing activities to add vocabulary and also train on tense space, sentence structure, and so on. These activities can be applied in storytelling. I think enough for my group to explain about TPR methods. Thank you.